Hey, how you doing? Thanks for watching Wolf's Watch. I'm Wolf. I got a question for you. I got a question for you. With everything that's been going on the last 18 months with your business as CEO, whether you've got 35 employees or 350 employees, you're likely using more remote workers, right? Remote teams, people in a virtual work environment, correct? You may have been doing some of that before. Likely it is way more. We're hearing a lot of businesses, they're like 3 times what they had done. Now, not permanent, everybody's going virtual. There's some of that that's been in the business publications. Not gonna happen. That's like the 1990s dot-com bubble when everybody's saying, "Oh, you know what? Brick and mortar businesses are going away." That you still have people that are physically working on site at places, either your establishment or clients, some working virtual. Here's the question I have. Are they Are the remote work teams driving you nuts trying to figure out how to get that to work as a high performing team? Still having too much of this going on, conflicts on stuff that's drawing you in that shouldn't be? Do you have a lot more millennials? Now, and if you're a millennial, hang on for a second. This isn't a dig. This is an understanding of what the environment is and why we're having a hard time communicating across generations. Okay, so millennial, if you're a millennial, hold with me here. This isn't intended to disrespect. This is to talk to you that is not a millennial. Going, is it frustrating to get it right with what you need to have happen with teams of millennials in the virtual work environment, virtual world? Here's why I asked that. The first key to moving forward with that and getting the high performing teams that you need that are working remote that have a lot of millennials involved with them, the first key to that is stepping back and being clear on what your role as the CEO needs to be in that. Is the frustration really part of a broader frustration of being pulled into too much conflict management that really should not be coming onto your plate, shouldn't be landing on your desk because they should be getting it handled and getting work done, not asking you to referee, not asking you to make decisions you've already delegated and you need to keep delegated. What is your role in that? Because with where we started, right, whether you got 35 or 350, you have a leadership team that you need to play a role so that you can focus on what the business needs you to do, what you do best. Just as you are empowering your team, your direct reports to focus on what they do best, on what you need them to do, what the business needs them to do in order to scale up the business. This is a time of phenomenal opportunity right now. Yes, it is also a time of massing pile of steaming stuff that doesn't smell good, but that's also why it's a time of awesome opportunity. What are you doing to leverage the opportunities? And I'm watching comments over here, so I watch. What are you doing to leverage that? And you get first thing is step back, think, make sure you're staying focused on your role in order to be able to lead forward effectively. Because if you're continuing to allow stuff that shouldn't be landing on your desk to be pulled into referee situations where you shouldn't be refereeing, you need the people to debate it out and figure it out and work it out instead of coming to you. The people that are coming to you, instead of doing it, you need them to be adults and work it out. Then you can start moving forward. Now, there's some key things to understand about why, and this is where, if you're a millennial, this is why I asked you to hang with me. If you're not a millennial, this is for you. There are key things you need to understand about what's different with the millennial generation. Now, there's things that as a generation, they get a bad rap. I'll just say that right up front. And I was guilty of that for a long time. I have learned differently. We'll talk more about that. As a generation, there's some things that are common to them when you're dealing with the individuals, as you know, right? All bets are off. You need to deal with the individual. There's some things that can help, though, by understanding. So there's some keys there to understand. There's also a few things to understand about the remote work environment, remote teams that help your leaders that you are empowering, that you are delegating to run these virtual teams, to help them be effective. Again, so that you can focus on what you need to focus on. We'll talk about that some more. But again, this is just one key. Just want to keep this short. First key is step back. What is your appropriate role here? And if you're violating those boundaries, that's got to stop. So we'll talk some more about the other keys that I just alluded to. And if you're watching this and you're a millennial and you've got a booming business, I say that as a boomer. See, and this is this is why I said bear with me. I'm generationally, I'm a late boomer, so I'm a crossover between boomers and Gen X. Younger boomer, older Gen X. That's who I really identify with and connect with the easiest, the fastest, the most naturally, because we have so many common experiences growing up. Millennials, man, there's a lot of distance, a lot of cultural distance, a lot of things happened between when I was growing up and when you grew up. And it was like, hindsight, a lot of things are obvious going, oh yeah, that makes sense. And what I need to do to modify my perspective in order to be effective with communicating with you, or at least more effective, right? Maybe I'm not totally effective, but to be more effective. So, and thank you for hanging in there. Appreciate that. If you're a millennial watching this, thank you. Because together we can get some great stuff done. And if you have a big business, our business is booming again, and you're a millennial CEO, millennial age group, right? Generational, then there's a flip side to that as well. There's some things that will help you be more effective with your teams that are multi-generational. So for whether you're a boomer, a millennial, or whatever generation you grew up in, we'll have some more keys to talk about intergenerational workplace as well. So this is stuff that's coming up. And we've got people to talk with that are major successes. So we'll be inviting back people like to call her Celebrate with Sarah. Sarah Boxbaum. If you've been watching our TV show, been watching Wolf's Watch since the beginning, then you heard from Sarah. She is a millennial that is just knocking it out of the park. Awesome entrepreneur. So we have several people like her that we'll be including in this one. We're sharing the keys, and we'll keep it short. I'm watching the time. We're a little over 7 minutes, so I'm going to cut it short here because, again, it was just one key. And if you're a millennial, hold with me. We'll have more of interest for you down the road. I'm talking to you that is not a millennial, especially if you're an older Gen Xer or a boomer. One key, step back as CEO and think first about what is your role that you need to play. What are your boundaries on what you do and don't do within your business so that you can stay focused on what you're good at, what the business needs you to be doing. And so that the people that you on your team that you have built or are building as your leadership team, right, that you delegate to them so that they can be effective. You need to have those boundaries set and maintained first so that you have the right context for the other stuff that comes in when we dig into the insights that will help you, the keys that will help you with being more effective with virtual teams, especially virtual teams with millennials. The millennials, they're awesome at the technology. They are a huge asset, hugely important to your business, as you already know, right? And if you're a millennial watching this, rock on. You are good with the tech, and thank you for all the stuff you're bringing to the table. For those of us that are a little bit longer in the tooth, a little bit grayer in the hair when I used to have hair. Still got my COVID do going. But for you, the non-millennial CEO, stick with that. Focus on the role first. Use that as your paradigm for everything else that comes in terms of applying the keys that we'll be talking about on how to be, on how you can connect better with millennials, how you can leverage remote teams better, get better performance, and just scale the heck out of your business over the next 18 months. Well, less than 18 months now, between now and the end of 2022. Okay. A lot of opportunity coming between now and then. We'll talk some about that. So here we are, 9 minutes. I ran long. Going to let you go. Get that, focus on that perspective, and then watch for the next Wolf's Watch, and we'll talk some more about those keys, those insights that I just mentioned. Thanks for being part of Wolf's Watch. Comment, smash the like button, share your thoughts in the comment section, and keep track of the comments. We'd love to have you to continue to be part of the conversation, right? This is 21st Century TV, live and interactive, and I appreciate you being part of it. I'm Wolf. Thanks for watching Wolf's Watch, and I will see you on the trail.